Now, we all know Ed Miller here. Ed Miller is from, I can't remember the name of the group that's got is it an anagram when it's the letters of the number? But he's the guy who basically did a world exclusive on Uber and the taxes that Uber weren't paying. Because this is so prevalent in the news this week, this has been recorded a few weeks ago, but we released it tomorrow morning. They did a piece on the myth of millionaire migration. The myth of millionaire migration, as in when you change the taxes to like a wealth tax or a CGT, millionaires will flee. They'll take their money elsewhere. It's actually been researched. I'm going to play you the introduction to the episode. So this is the whole episode, right? You can see it's 21 minutes, but I do a little intro at the start to give you a bit of a highlight of what's in the show. So have a listen, and then we're going to do one more thing with this information. So remember, government's telling us, bring it on. I hope Labor goes for that capital gains tax, and you watch the wealthy flee in record numbers. Well, there's research on that. There's research.
A year or so ago, the British government said that it was going to roll back a set of rules that it had that were about people who lived outside the UK but still had UK tax residence. Under those rules, as they stood at the time, you could book income outside of the UK, and if that income wasn't generated in the UK, then you weren't subject to that taxation. And it meant that a lot of income that was being produced by UK citizens wasn't being taxed and not able to provide decent public services. That report received about 11,000 pieces of media coverage, not just in the UK, but around the world. It was very widely circulated. TJN, Tax Justice Network, dug into the numbers and found that the amount of millionaires that migrated from the UK that year under the threat of those non-dom changes came to 9,500 people. And that in terms of the context of the number of millionaires in the UK at the time, it was 0.3% of millionaires that moved.
So 99.7% of the wealthy, after these changes were made in the UK, stayed. 0.3% left. And I suspect, I don't have the exact numbers yet, but I suspect losing that 0.3 is probably easily made up by the tax take of the other 99.7 who decided to stay. And there's lots of reasons for that, including like wanting a functional society. Now, one other thing I want to tell you about that, because I've had a conversation about that on Facebook today, and I am interested to show you because I had that piece of information in my head. And when I released a clip, might have been yesterday, that me and Magenta did on Monday, about Christopher Luxon trying to imply that a CGT would be terrible for New Zealand, and he hopes Labor runs on it. Some lovely person who is probably not a real person, Stephen Olsen, says, we want to encourage wealth creation, not discourage. Conversation starts off about tax. You realise that tax does discourage. We've seen people, and this is it, we've seen people leaving the UK to avoid tax increase that the Labor government has applied there. So, of course, I got a chance to say 0.3% of the millionaires left the UK when the tax laws changed. I don't spread disinformation now. That means 99.7% stay. To which his response was, and yet the tax take fell massively. What a surprise. Now, this is what this side of politics will do. Do you notice the dates here, Chewie? So revenue fell 18% in the 2023-2024 year. That means this year finishes April 2024. The changes to the tax law came in this year. So this person is trying to say, yeah, but when they did that, look, the tax take fell. It's like the tax take is not, the changes weren't in that year. So your evidence that it's not working is to cite the tax year ending April 5, 2024, when the non-dom tax laws changed. This, which is the changes you say caused the flee, came into the phase in over 4 years from April of this year. The person then kind of goes, everyone understands it was a bad call by Labor, everyone, to which I do my favourite one at the end of that. Notice he's made a point, I've refuted it. He's made a point, I've refuted it. He's made a point, and I've just told him that he must be a very strong man with all that goalpost shifting he's been doing. But that episode this is basically a big tease for the episode. That episode of Gary Painder's show is coming up tomorrow morning, gets released at 6 a.m. It is on YouTube, And it is on the Facebook page, which is now the Big Hairy Network. Facebook.com/Big Hairy Network.